Hello everyone, welcome back to Final Fantasy Tactics, War of the Lions. This is going to be a bonus episode where we basically just do some reading of backstory. So, head to the tavern, we got some rumors. Here's what all the locals have been going on about. Corpse Brigade. Brigandry is on the rise across the land, and Galleon has by no means been spared. Wains are struck and pillaged, high-ranking officials taken at sword point. Most of the incidents of this past 6 months are believed to be the work of a company of felons and former sellswords known as the Corpse Brigade. It is oft said that the only good brigand is a dead brigand, and the Order of the Northern Sky would like naught more than to see the brigade made corpses for true. But as yet, it is all the knighthood can do to keep the outlaws in check. King Ondoria III. The health of King Ondoria III has been subject of concern since his collapse at the birthday celebration of Prince Orinus. The Board of Chamberlains has since announced that the king has regained consciousness and his fever has broken, but will yet require several weeks of quietude and bed rest in order to recover. Many speculate that it may be some months before the king resumes his official duties. However, Queen Luveria and her retainers have long been in charge of most affairs of state, and thus few problems are anticipated during the king's absence. The 50 Years' War. The half-century of conflict between Ivalice and Ordalia is today known as the 50 Years' War. The beginning of the 50 Years' War can be traced to the death of Ordalia's King Devane III. I will note that I don't believe that the Ivalice of this game is the Ivalice of Final Fantasy XII. I don't believe that it's the Ivalice of Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. And I don't believe it is the Ivalice of Vagrant's Story. I think those are all different Ivalices. And Ivalice is just kind of the name that the creators, or one particular person whose name is escaping me at the moment, kind of dubs the worlds that he creates kind of thing. I'm not positive on that. And that may have changed, you know, they may have done things to try to connect them up or something like that. I'm not positive. Feel free to correct me in the comments if you desire. His cousin Varroy VI was next in line for the throne. However, King Dinamda II of Ivalice, the uncle of Devane III, proclaimed himself the rightful heir and declared war on Ordalia. However, this was merely a pretense to justify the invasion of the neighboring Ordalian province of Zelmonia. Once an independent state, it had been annexed by Ordalia nearly a century prior. Ivalice has since been aiding the province in an effort to weaken Ordalia, an effort that ultimately failed. Tired of Ordalian rule, the Zelmonian leadership and nobility secretly petitioned Ivalice to take a more direct hand in their liberation. After victory in Zelmonia, the Ivalician armies marched on the Ordalian capital of Viura. As fate would have it, Dinamda II succumbed to fatal illness on the road. The momentary confusion amongst Ivalice's troops gave Ordalia the opportunity it needed to regroup, and Varroy VI succeeded in pushing the Ivalicians back as far as Zelmonia. The resulting impasse would not be broken until the Ramondan army's invasion 2 years hence. Ramonda, a powerful military state lying across the Rana Strait, marched on Ivalice at the behest of Varroy VI, a blood relation of the Ramondan nobility. However, Dinamda II's successor, Dinamda IV, was a fearless warrior, personally leading his men into battle against the combined might of Ramonda and Ordalia. This, along with an outbreak of the Black Death in Ramonda, forced the Ramondan army to withdraw after only 3 years. Two military orders worthy of particular mention in this conflict are the Order of the Northern Sky, led by Knight Gallant Barbaneth Beolv, and that of the Southern Sky, led by Sodulphus Orlando, known also as the Thunder God. After countless victories at home, these two orders had been poised to advance into Ordalia. However, the protracted conflict had begun to take its toll on domestic morale. Peasant uprising and revolts throughout Ivalice and Ordalia forced both countries to send their troops home to pacify their own citizens, resulting in another stalemate. It was Dinamda IV's sudden death by malady that broke the stalemate, although some claim that he was murdered. His successor, Ondoria III, was ill-suited to the throne, and left the governing of Ivalice to his queen and retainers. Without Dinamda IV's leadership, the armies of Ivalice had little prayer of preventing Varroy VI's successor, Prince Leonard, from defeating the troops stationed in Zelmonia and advancing into Ivalice proper. Despite the valiant efforts of the Northern and Southern Orders, Ivalice failed to repel Prince Leonard's invasion of Zeltenia. Isn't Zeltenia also the name in Ogre Battle? Ivalice's leaders soon began looking for a peaceful alternative. In the end, both states agreed that prolonging the war would prove mutually detrimental, and a pact was signed allowing each nation to return to addressing domestic strife. An equal peace in name, it was in reality a defeat for Ivalice. The economy of Ivalice was brought to the very brink of ruin as it struggled to pay reparations to its former enemies and to repay the loans taken from neighboring states to fund its war effort. Soldiers returning from the front found themselves without pay, and entire orders of knights were summarily discharged from service. The swelling ranks of the unemployed did little to relieve the people's distrust of the crown and the nobility. So that's basically what's led up to where we are right now. Sounds lovely, huh? So let's go to the Chronicle. The events of the Knight's Apprentice. Several other Knights Apprentice and I, all of us soon to graduate into the ranks of knighthood, were called to gather at the Academy Hall. An unsavory band of outlaws known as the Corpse Brigade continues to plunder and loot throughout Galleon, and plans are afoot for the Order to rid the land of these ne'er-do-wells. We Knights Apprentice are charged with providing rearguard support. And then we can press the triangle button to review that scene. And Personae. So we've got a few. Let's start with Arslan Durai. Arslan Durai, age 53, a modern-day scholar of medieval Ivalician history. Arslan is also well known as an archaeologist and theologian. Many recall the controversy sparked by his interpretation of the Durai Papers. He has penned such classic works as The Enigmatic War of the Lions, The True Saint Ajora, and The Durai Papers, 400 Years of Truth. So, careful study of these works will no doubt shed light on the secrets behind the War of the Lions. Yeah, I think he's supposed to be talking 400 years into the future after all these events. Auld. Here's all we know. Auld Beowulf, age 16. A knight apprentice of the Royal Military Academy at Garland. House Beowulf has long been a respected military family, and for generations has produced commanders of the Order of the Northern Sky. I think in the original game that was the Hokuten, so they've actually translated it. Born to a different mother than his two elder brothers, Auld, the great house's youngest son, harbors feelings of inferiority to his true-born siblings. Delita. He is also age 16. Delita is Auld's childhood friend and knight apprentice of the Royal Military Academy at Garland. Born to a farming family in the domain of House Beowulf, Delita and his sister were taken in by the late Lord Barboneth after losing both parents to the Black Death. Despite his low birth, he was allowed into the academy at Lord Barboneth's request. Lord Zalbag. Lord Commander of the Order of the Northern Sky and holder of the title Knight Devout. He is age 28. Zalbag is the second eldest of the Beowulf brothers. His countless victories in the 50 Years' War led the late King Denamda IV to declare, "The savior of Ivalice is in Galleon, and his name is Beowulf." Zalbag is also a devout member of the Church of Glabados. Lord Dysadarg. Dysadarg Beowulf, age 37. Dysadarg is the eldest Beowulf brother and a military tactician in the service of Duke Larg, Liege Lord of Galleon. In accordance with the wishes of his late father, Lord Barboneth, Dysadarg ceded the position of Commander of the Order of the Northern Sky to his brother Zalbag. Instead, he became a strategist for Duke Larg, a friend of Dysadarg's since childhood. Dysadarg is Duke Larg's most trusted retainer. In addition to being a master tactician, it is also said that he is an expert swordsman, well versed in the ways of magic. Interesting that he would be told to cede his leadership to his younger brother. Duke Larg. Estrald Larg, age 37 as well. Liege Lord of Galleon and true-born brother to Queen Lovaria, wife of King Ondoria III. House Larg is a branch of the Atkasha royal family and can trace its roots back to King Denamda II, the monarch responsible for the 50 Years' War. Duke Larg served as a general in that conflict and today possesses command authority over the Order of the Northern Sky. Duke Goltana, age 56, Druxmald Goltana, the ruler of Zeltenia. Duke Goltana, like Duke Larg, is descended from the line of King Denamda II, the monarch responsible for the 50 Years' War. His standard is the Black Lion, one head of the royal family's twin-head lion crest. He served as a general in the 50 Years' War and now controls the Order of the Southern Sky, one of the great knightly orders of Ivalice. Prince Orinus. Orinus Atkasha, age 1, the third son born of King Ondoria III and Queen Loveria. As her first two children died shortly after birth, Prince Orinus is heir to the throne of Ivalice. Few among the citizenry retain faith in their current king, who rarely participates in matters of government, citing ill health. Most realize that the regent who governs in his place has the true power. Queen Loveria. Loveria Atkasha, age 27, wife of King Ondoria III of Ivalice and true-born sister to Duke Larg. Loveria became queen at 20 years of age and gave birth to 3 sons. Her first 2 children died shortly after birth, leaving the infant Prince Orinus as the only heir to the throne. The king's ill health has left him distant from affairs of government, making the queen the de facto ruler of Ivalice. I feel like in a lot of ways they need to up the ages of some of these people. Ondoria III. Ondoria Atkasha III, age 35. 18th monarch of the Atkasha line, Ondoria III was crowned king after Denamda IV's death from illness in the final days of the 50 Years' War. In stark contrast to his predecessor, who had led his own troops into battle, Ondoria III has been sickly all of his life. In fact, many historians point to Ondoria III's poor leadership as one of the main factors in Ivalice's defeat. The Marquis Elmdor. Messam Elmdor, age 35, liege lord of Limberry. Marquis Elmdor battled fearlessly against the Ordalian army when it invaded Ivalice in the latter days of the 50 Years' War. Hailed by friends as a Silver Prince for his bright metallic armor and long silver hair, he was feared by foes as the Silver Demon. He is a devout member of the Church of Glabados and an ordained inquisitor. Saint Ajora. No picture. Ajora Glabados. Ajora was born in the Lassalian city of Bervenia 12 centuries ago. Raised in Milados, he preached openly about the coming of paradise. This infuriated Ferrist priests, and the Holy Edoran Empire hanged him as a traitor. When Milan, the center of Ferrist teachings, then sank into the sea, Ajora's disciples began to preach of his divinity, eventually forming the Church of Glabados. Titra Hiral. Age 15. Titra is Delita's younger sister. Both are children of a simple farmer who lived and worked on land owned by House Beolv. Lord Barbaneth Beolv assumed custody of both Titra and Delita soon after their parents were taken by the Black Death. Titra secretly worries about her brother, who has been sent to the academy. She's a dear friend of Alma Beolv. Lord Barbaneth. Barbaneth Beolv, former Lord Commander of the Order of the Northern Sky. Lord Barbaneth was hailed as Knight Gallant, the highest rank in all knighthood. His countless victories helped to compensate for Ivalice's inferior numbers in the 50 Years' War. Fear of his lord convinced Ordalia to agree to an equal peace, although Ivalice had in fact lost. He died of malady at war's end. Master Darlavan. Master Darlavan, age 52. A renowned instructor at the Royal Military Academy, Master Darlavan's lectures are aimed at new recruits. His good temper and clear lectures have won him favor among students, yet he is also known to be a bit long-winded. Commissioned as chief aide-de-camp during the 50 Years' War, Master Darlavan served only one tour of duty, giving him very little actual experience. And that is all of the people that we have so far. I think we'll get more items on this list as we progress through the game, but that is what we have so far. So, when we come back next time, we'll actually get back into the game and take a look at our new characters. See you next time, everyone.